Hello everyone, welcome to It's Crochet O'Clock. My name is Stephanie and today we are going to be working on part 3 of the Blue Happy Crochet Along. This square you're going to be making 4 of these. I am going to walk you through it step by step. It is not as hard as it looks. Mine does need a little block, so if yours ends up coming out just a tad bit wobbly, it's okay, don't worry about it. As you can see, mine has done so as well. For the project, I'm going to be working in Stylecraft Special DK. I am doing 3 different colors for my project, and I'm also going to be working in a 4mm crochet hook. So let's go ahead and get started with this, shall we? The foundation of this square begins with a magic ring. I am a fan of the double magic ring. So to do that, you are going to tie your yarn around your fingers 3 times, like so. Trap that tail in between your forefinger and your thumb. Insert your hook under the first 2 loops, grab that third, pull it around and twist. It should be able to move freely. Spin it back around towards the back, and you see this yarn right there, that's your working yarn. You're going to grab a hold of that and pull it through. And that is the double magic ring. So to begin round 1, we are going to chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. Now, do not make these stitches tight. Make sure that you are making them loose. You will thank me for it here in a little bit. We are going to place 8 single crochets in this ring, but make sure that you are doing them loosely. Don't make tight single crochets. I am a tight crocheter, so I have to like actively work at this. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we need to close our magic ring, so pull up so you don't lose those single crochets that you just made. Where everybody always goes wrong with the magic ring is they immediately try to jerk on this tail to close it. That's not going to do good for you with the double magic ring. See, we have these 2 pieces of yarn right here. You're going to pull on this very, very, very slowly, and one of them is going to move. You see that bottom one, how it's pulling to the left? We're going to pull from the right, and that's going to close that second. And now you can pull freely on the tail and you won't break your yarn. So to complete this round, you're simply going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, and if you're having issues telling which difference or which stitch it is, this chain 1 that does not count as a stitch, sometimes it can fake you out. So just count back. There's 1 stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we are going to slip stitch to that stitch. There you go. So now we're going to fasten off because we're going to switch colors and move into round 2. To begin round 2, we are going to start with a standing front loop treble in any stitch. It doesn't matter which stitch. Now the front loop, this is really hard to see because we have white yarn, but you can see this V right there. We are only going to be working in the front part of the V for this entire round. So to start with a standing front loop treble, we are going to yarn over on our hook twice and insert your hook, split that V, and then make a treble as normal. There we go. Now we're going to place another treble in that same stitch, just in the front loop. It's going to look kind of crazy at first, but that's all right. It will all work itself out. Now in the next stitch, we're also going to place 2 front loop trebles. There's one. And two. Okay, now you're going to repeat that all the way around, 2 front loop trebles in each stitch. By the time you get finished and back over here, you should have 18 front loop trebles. You are going to slip stitch to the back loop of this first standing front loop treble, just the back loop, and do not fasten off because we're going to stay in this color for round 3 and I will meet you there. In round 2, we made a base for folding stitches. You may not have realized that, but you did. So in round 3, we are going to be working the folding stitches. We're going to fold these back. So to begin that, we are going to chain 1, and then we are going to place a single crochet back loop of this same stitch right here. And you're going to turn around and find the corresponding back loop that it's in. You can see them because we only worked in the front loops in round 2. So this little ridge right here, those are the back loops from our foundation round. So you can see that this treble that I'm working in right here, it is in that stitch right there. So we're going to insert our hook into that back loop and then make our single crochet. So there's 1 single crochet. Now we are going to go into the back loop of the next stitch. That stitch is in the same stitch as this one, so we're going to place a single crochet there. See how it folds them over? So now we're going to move on to the next one, back loop only, and back loop of the next stitch, because this is our 3rd stitch. Remember, there was 2 trebles in each stitch. Moving on to the next one, and same for that one. So that's how you work this round. You're going to work yourself all the way back around. Remember that you have 2 single crochets, folding single crochets as you will, for each stitch back here. When you get back around here, you are going to slip stitch to your first single crochet. Make sure that you are not slip stitching to your chain. If you want to, you can mark that first single crochet so you don't accidentally slip to that chain. That might be a good idea for you. And you are going to fasten off, but we're going to wait to secure our ends until after the next round, and I will meet you there. To begin round 4, you are going to start in any stitch. It doesn't matter which stitch. We're going to place a standing double crochet in that stitch. And then we're going to place another double crochet in that same stitch. And then in the next stitch, 2 double crochets. And that's the repeat for this round. You're going to place 2 double crochets in each stitch. Make sure that you are only picking up the single crochet, that you're not picking up the ridge here that is left from the folding stitch. That's part of the design. Makes this neat little effect going around here. You're not going to pick up that. You're working behind it in the single crochets. Okay? So you're going to place 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. By the time you get finished, you will have 32 double crochets. You are going to slip stitch to this first standing double crochet, fasten off, and finally you can secure in all of these ends, and we will meet back here for round 5. To begin round 5, we are going to start in any stitch, does not matter which. You're going to place a standing half double crochet in any stitch, and then in the next stitch we're also going to place a half double crochet. Now the unique thing, See this stitch? We just got finished working into this stitch. Now we are going to place a front post double crochet around that same stitch that we just got finished working the half double crochet in. Now we are going to move to the next stitch and place a half double crochet there, and then a half double crochet in the next stitch. Now again, we are going to work a front post double crochet around that stitch that we just got finished placing that half double crochet in. And now we're going to do it all over again. Half double crochet in this next stitch, half double crochet in the next, and then front post double around that same stitch that we just got finished working in. And that's the effect that you are going to get. You're going to repeat that half front post double around that same stitch all the way around. When you get back around, you will have 32 half double crochets and 16 front post double crochets. You are going to slip stitch to the top of the standing half double crochet that we started out with, but don't fasten off because we're going to stay in this color for round 6, and I will meet you there. To begin round 6, we are going to chain 1. That does not count as a stitch, and we're going to do something a little bit different here. We are going to move back to this front post double crochet that our last one that we worked right here before we attached right there, and we are going to place a front post single crochet around that stitch. So there is our front post single crochet around that stitch. We are going to skip the next 2 stitches, which are the half double crochets, and then in this front post double crochet we are going to work 9 trebles. So that's yarn over twice for a treble. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, which are the half doubles, and then around the post of this front post double crochet we are going to work a front post single crochet, and that will pin down our little petal that we just made. This stitch right here is the same as this first front post single crochet that we worked when we began. Okay, so you are going to repeat this all the way around. Do it 8 times. You're going to skip all of those half double crochets, and you're either going to be working around the post of the front post double crochet or into the front post double crochet. So our next is going to be 9 trebles. Then when you do your 9 trebles, you're going to skip these 2 stitches and then work a front post single crochet, skip 2 stitches, 9 trebles. Repeat it all the way around. When you get back over here, you are going to slip stitch to the top of that front post single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends. Your count will be 8 front post single crochets, 8 shells, and there's 9 trebles in each shell. Then we will meet back for round 7 and I will see you there. To begin round 7, we are going to look for any shell and look for the 8th treble in that shell. So it will be the next to the last treble in any shell. We're going to work a standing back post half double crochet. So you'll yarn over on your hook, insert your hook from behind, wrap around that post, pull it up and yarn over, pull through all 3. There's our standing half treble. Now our next stitch is going to be a 2 double crochet together, but we're going to work them as back posts. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook from behind and wrap around the post of that last treble of the petal. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to skip this standing single crochet here and move over to the next petal. And the next part of our 2 double crochet together worked as back posts is going to be this first treble. So you'll yarn over again, insert from behind the work, wrap around that post, grab that yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is a back post 2 double crochet together, and we are skipping that front post single. So now in the next 2 stitches we are going to work back post half double crochets. And we're on the petals, so there's a back post half double crochet and back post half double crochet in the next stitch. Over the next 3 stitches we are going to work back post single crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now in the next 2 stitches we are going to work back post half double crochets. So 1, and 2. Now this back post half double crochet is the same as our standing back post half double crochet that we started out with. So you are just going to repeat this all the way around everything that we have just done. Your next stitch is going to be the back post 2 double crochet together. So you're going to work it around this post and this post, skipping that front loop, not front loop, front post single crochet. We're skipping all of them. And then you'll have 2 back post half double crochets, 3 back post single crochets, 2 back post half double crochets, and then you're going to start your back post 2 double crochet together all over again. When you get back around, you are going to slip stitch to the top of this standing back post half double crochet, but you're not going to fasten off because we're going to stay in this color for round 8. Your stitch count is going to be, or per repeat, will be 3 back post single crochets, 4 back post half double crochets, and 1 back post 2 double crochet togethers. I will meet you for round 8. To begin round 8, we are going to chain 1. That does not count as a stitch, and we are going to place a single crochet in that same stitch. Now we're going to work 2 more single crochets over the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and then 2. Now in the next 3 stitches we are going to work half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. In the next 3 stitches we are going to work double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now if your counts have evened out, you're going to end up right here in the center between two petals. And right here we're going to work a corner, and that corner is going to be 2 double crochets in this same stitch. There's 1 and 2. Now we're going to chain 2 and then place 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. That is our new corner. Now in the next 3 stitches we are going to double crochet. There's 1, 2, and 3. Over the next 3 stitches we are going to half double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now in the next 3 stitches we are going to single crochet, and this first single crochet right here, that single crochet is the same as this first single crochet, so that is one entire repeat. But I just wanted to keep on theme with doing 3. So there's 2 and then 3. So you are going to repeat that, all of that, 3 more times. You're going to have 3 half double crochets, 3 double crochets, then right here you are going to have another corner, which is 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all in the same stitch. Then you'll have 3 double crochets, 3 half double crochets, 3 single crochets, and you start it all over again. When you get back over here, you are going to slip stitch to the top of your first single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends, and we will meet back here for round 9. To begin round 9, we are just going to look for any stitch before a chain 2 space. So that's going to be this stitch right here. We are going to join with a standing single crochet in that stitch, and then move to this chain space, make our new corner, which is going to be 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochets. And now we are going to single crochet in the next 19 stitches. Guys, pay attention to this first stitch right here because it's going to be hidden. We just put 4 stitches in this chain 2 space. This stitch right here, it's hidden. That's where your first single crochet is going to go. So you're going to place 18 more after that. And when you get to your 19th single crochet, you are going to be right back at the corner. Your 19th single crochet is going to be the same as this one. So you're basically just going to work single crochets all the way around, except for in the corners. 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets. When you get back over here, you are going to join to the standing single crochet that we placed right here, fasten off and secure your ends, and we will meet back for round 10. To begin round 10, we are going to look for the chain 2 space in any corner, doesn't matter which one, and we're going to count 2 stitches back from that. We are going to start with a standing double single stitch. So that's really simple to do. You have your yarn on your hook. You are just going to insert your hook into the indicated stitch. Remember, 2 stitches before any chain 2 corner space. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and then insert your hook back into that same stitch. Pull up. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4, and that is a standing double single. So now we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch, and in this chain 2 space we're going to place 3 double singles separated by chain 1s. So insert your hook into that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over once more, insert back into that chain space, yarn over, pull up loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, then chain 1. Let's do it all over again. Insert, yarn over, pull up, 2 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. Now we need one more double single, there we go, and chain 1. Now we have 3 double singles separated by chain 1s here in this one corner space. This middle double single is our new corner. That stitch is considered our new corner. Now we're going to skip the next stitch, which is going to be rather easy because it's hidden. It's very, very hidden. So you're going to skip the next stitch and you are going to see it's actually right there, but it's underneath there. So we've already chained 1, insert and make a double single there, and then chain 1. Now you're going to skip the next stitch, and in the following stitch, double single. Ooh. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, in the next stitch, double single. And that's your repeat for this entire round. You are going to skip a stitch, double single, chain 1, skip a stitch, double single, chain 1, skip a stitch, all the way around. Your corners are 3 double singles separated by chain 1s. As we worked through here, work your way all the way back around, and when you get over here, you are going to, don't forget to chain 1 at the end. After you get finished with your last double single here, chain 1, and then fasten off to the top of this standing double single. Your counts each side will be 13 double singles, 14 chain 1 spaces, and then your one corner double single here. Okay, so go ahead and do that. We will meet back for round 11. Okay, to begin round 11, we are going to look for the chain space right before any corner double crochet. Remember I told you, while we put all of these double singles in the same chain space, just the center one is representing our corner space. So we're going to go between them, and we're going to place a standing single crochet there. And then we're going to place another single crochet in that same chain 1 space. And now we are going to chain 2. We're going to skip over this double single. That's the corner double single right there. And we're going to place 2 single crochets in that chain 1 space. And now we are going to skip the double single, and we are going to go into the chain 1 space and place 2 single crochets. And that is basically all of this round. I do want to bring something to your attention though. You see this piece of yarn right there? That's normal from the double singles. Make sure, oops, sorry, didn't mean to shake you. Make sure you're inserting your hook to the right of that. Because if you don't, then you're going to be in the stitch for the double single. That's not what you want. We want 2 single crochets in the chain space. We're skipping over these double singles for this entire round, and there's 2 single crochets, except for in the corners. Remember, our new corner is going to be a chain 2, and it's going to go over the top of our center double singles right there. See, that's our new corner. So you're just going to work yourself all the way back around. When you get over here, you're going to slip stitch to this standing single crochet, then you're going to fasten off. Your count per side is going to be 28 single crochets, and then you're going to have 1 chain 2 space in each corner. So pause the video, we will meet back for round 12. To begin round 12, we are going to look for the stitch before any corner, doesn't matter which corner, and you're going to start with a standing single crochet in that stitch right before the corner. And then in that corner, you are going to make a single crochet, and then a chain 2, and then another single crochet. Now you are going to single crochet in the next 28 stitches. Don't mess up and miss this first one. It might be a little bit hidden, might not be, but don't mess up and miss that one. 28 single crochets, and then that 28th single crochet will be the same as this standing single crochet here. Then you're going to move into a corner. When you work your way all the way back around, you're going to slip stitch to this top standing single crochet, fasten off, and we will meet back for round 13. To begin round 13, we are going to join with a standing half double crochet in the stitch before any, chain 2 space. So yarn over and then insert your hook into that stitch right before the chain 2 space, and half double crochet. Well, there we go, half double crochet. Now in this chain 2 space, we are going to work a half double, and then we are going to work a double crochet, and then another half double, all in that same chain space. Now I'm going to pull up on my work because, you guys, this is important. If you don't listen to any other part of my advice, put a stitch marker in the back loop of that double crochet. You're going to need that for later. Please listen to me. Just do it. Just don't question. Tie a piece of thread to it or something. Mark that stitch. Now for the rest of this round, it's pretty simple. Just 30 half double crochets in the next 30 stitches. So half double all the way around. Then you'll get to your next corner. Your corner is half double crochet, half double crochet. Don't forget that you are going to put a stitch marker in the back loop of the double crochet, like I've done here, just in the back loop. When you get back around here, after you've made all of your half double crochets and then your double crochet corners, you are going to join to the standing half double crochet, fasten off, and we will meet back at round 14. To begin round 14, we are going to look for the stitch before any marked stitch. So there's our marked stitch right there. We are going to work a standing front loop treble. So to do that, you're going to yarn over on your hook twice and then locate that stitch. It's right there. And we're only going into the front loop of that stitch. Just the front loop. And complete your treble. There you go. Now for this next stitch, you can take out the stitch marker if you would like. I'm just going to leave it in because we're going to put it right back in to mark that back loop. In this next stitch, which represents our corner, we are going to work 3 front loop trebles. And there is that front loop right there because we have the stitch marker behind on the back loop. So we're going to work 3 front loop trebles, and I'm just going to leave that stitch marker. If you guys are more comfortable with removing it, you can remove it, but just remember that you're going to have to put it back after you get finished putting these 3 front loop trebles in there. It's very important. It's going to come in handy for the next round. So now there's our 3 front loop trebles. Now we are going to work a front loop treble in each of the next 10 stitches. So remember, these are just front loops. This is the foundation for folding stitches. You guys should be familiar with them by now. So there's 1, 2, These stitch markers are making me crazy. I'm sure they're making you crazy. Let me try and fold them up so they're not hitting underneath. There we go. There's 2. And then three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now from here we are going to chain 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. We're going to come back over here and we are going to skip the next 12 stitches. So there is our last stitch right there, our last treble. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So there's our 13th stitch. We're going to place 10 more front loop trebles starting right here. We're skipping the 12. So here is, this one might be a little bit tricky because that chain, I always find them a little bit more tricky, but just hold on to it. So there is 1. Oh, come here. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Oh, that stitch marker is making me crazy. This one keeps hitting. 9 and 10. And if all goes well, if all of your counts are right, this 10th front loop treble is going to land right before your next marked stitch. So this front loop treble right here is the exact same as this standing front loop treble that we started with. So you're going to do all of this 3 more times. When you get back over here to this standing front loop treble, you are going to fasten off. You're going to slip stitch to it, fasten off, and we will meet back for round 15. To begin round 15, we are going to look for the stitch right before any front loop treble. So that's right here. Here's the chain. We're going to be working in front of the chain, and we're just going to place right here in this stitch a standing single crochet. That's the stitch right before a treble. So now we are going to work our folding stitches, and these are going to be single crochets, but we're going to work in the back loops. We're going to be working in the back loop of this treble, and then the corresponding back loop that the treble is in on the round below it. So you're just going to slip your crochet hook in between, picking up just that back loop. And if you look here on the back, you can see that's where the stitch is, and here's the back loop. Just going to slip your crochet hook in, back loop. Don't forget to pick up that third loop right below it. That's going to give you some stability with these folding stitches. You're just going to work a single crochet, and it's going to fold these stitches over. And back loop of the next stitch, picking up the third loop right behind it, single crochet. I'm going to do it again, splitting between that third loop right there, or not the third loop, splitting between the V, picking up that back loop. On the back side, you can see this is the stitch that we're going for, picking up the third loop right there. So there's the back loop, there's the third loop, and single crochet. So we are going to work 10 of these. So we've already done 3. So there we go. There's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. And now we are at our corner here. This was where we worked the 3 trebles in the same front loop, and I reminded you to, if you remove this stitch marker, to put it back, because you are going to need to remember that we're going to put all 3 of these single crochets, these folding single crochets, we're going to put all 3 of them into that same space. So now I am going to remove this stitch marker. For just a moment, we're going to use it here in just a second. So we're going to work 3 folding single crochets into that same space. It's right there. And the third loop for this one is a little bit harder to find, but just take your time and make sure that you get it, because it's kind of important that you use that third loop. It really does help with stability. The second one's going into the same space. And then our third one going into that same with the rest of them. Okay, now we are going to pause and go back. You're going to put a stitch marker in the second one. So that's one back from where we've just stopped, because this is our new corner. And you don't want to lose it. That's the stitch that we just worked. One stitch before it. Put your stitch marker back there. Now we need 10 more folding single crochets. We've already worked that one. Here we go. and make sure you're going into the right stitch starting off, because if you work 9 of these and get to the last one and you're without a back loop, you'll be unhappy. 10 more. Make sure you're picking up that third loop. I know I've said that like 5 times already, but it really is really important. Whoop. Don't do that. That's not what you want to do. Or that. Almost, guys. Come on. Just a couple more. And the last one, for now anyways, right there. Okay, now we are at the portion with the chain. So in this next stitch right here, directly to the left of this last folding treble, we're going to work in front of the chain. You're going to place a single crochet there. Now we are going to work behind the chain, so you're going to push it forward, and in the next 2 stitches we're going to single crochet behind the chain. Now you're going to push the chain to the back and you're going to work in front of it, and in the next 2 stitches single crochet. Well, without getting your hook caught in the wrong place. Now pull the chain to the front, and you're going to work 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in each of them. 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch 1 single crochet. Now pull this chain back behind, then 2 single crochets in the front, pull the chain to the front. You may have to fold over your work as we get here, and in the next 2 stitches you're going to work behind the chain, 2 single crochets behind the chain. Now fold your work back up, and this last stitch is going to be tricky because of how we've worked it, but we have 1 more stitch left. This stitch is the stitch that we started this round on. You're going to place a single crochet there and make sure that the chain is to the back. Single crochet. That single crochet is the exact same as this single crochet that we started with over here. Okay? So you're going to repeat everything that we have just done 3 more times. Work your way all the way back around. When you get over here, you are going to slip stitch. Your last stitch is going to be behind the this chain 17. It's going to be behind here. You're going to slip stitch to this first standing single crochet. Do not fasten off. We are going to stay in this color for round 16, and I will meet you there. To begin round 16, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that is going to count as our first double crochet for this stitch right here that we slip stitched to end the previous round. We are going to double crochet in the next 11 stitches. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now, if everything has worked out right and proper, your next stitch should be our marked stitch. And this is going to be our new corner. And in this stitch, we are going to work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in that same stitch. That's your new corner. So now you are going to work 34 double crochets in every single stitch all the way down until you land at your next marked stitch, in which place you will create a new corner, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. You're going to continue to work your way all the way back around until you get over here to this first chain 3. For starting this round, you're going to join to the top of this and then fasten off, and we will meet back for round 17. To begin round 17, we are going to join with a standing back post double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook from behind this first stitch before any chain 2 corner, and work a double crochet. Standing back post double crochet. In this chain 2 space here, we are going to work 2 double crochets, and then chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets, all in that same chain space. And our final round is pretty simple. We're just going to work back post double crochets all the way around, except for in the corner spaces, which are 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Your count per side is going to be 36 back post double crochets, and then you're going to have 4 double crochets in each corner, separated by your chain 2. So you're going to work all the way down, back post double crochets, till you get to your corner, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Work your way all the way back around, and then you're going to slip stitch to the top of this standing back post double crochet, fasten off, weave in your ends, and you will be complete with this, you'll be finished rather, with this square. And I will be back in just a moment, flash of technology, to show you what the completed square looks like. And here is the completed square. I still need to block mine, but this is one of 4 that you are going to work this week. Don't worry if yours is a little bit wobbly, a little block is going to fix it for you, no problems. And then don't forget that we're also going to be joining these squares, which is going to help a lot with the wobbliness, is that a word? The wobbliness of the squares. Don't be too concerned with it, okay? As you can see, it's happening to me as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. I will see you in next week for the next portion of the Blue Happy Crochet Along. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell so you don't miss an upload from me. And I will see you in my next video.